Hello and welcome back. So, we are in a creative world, and the objective in this world is to design a base capable of doing 10k science. I have just cleaned up after the Science 3 build. I've basically packed it away into some voiding boxes, but we kept blueprints. So this is our blueprint book. This is the red build, the green build, then the engines for the blue build itself, and the red circuits for the blue. Okay, so what we want to do now is work on the next build. And we're going to do that in the planner. And this is going to be one of those episodes where it's probably just a lot of me wittering and going through possibilities. Okay, so production science pack. I want to produce 10,000 of these per minute. Okay. The machine is going to be full of production modules. We are going to use a 12 beacon build because there is absolutely no reason not to. This is, on the face of it, a simpler proposition because we just have two types of item to feed it: electric engines and furnaces. And not many of them, so it's basically half the volume. I think each cycle of science produces 2 pots. Okay, so when you think before we did a 7,000 and something engine build, a 3,500 electric engine build shouldn't be too challenging. Similarly, a 3,500 build of electric furnaces should be fine. The rub is going to be that both of these require fluids. So to make the electric furnace, we need to make red chips, and to make red chips you need petroleum. To make the electric engines you need lubricant. Lubricant comes from heavy oil. So we need to come up with some way of doing this where we can basically have a refinery that turns everything it needs into lube and then everything else into petroleum, and try and get the ratios to balance. I don't particularly want to be shipping in petroleum from elsewhere to make this work. Anyway, we will see what we can see. Okay, so to make these, we need a bunch of circuits, a bunch of engines, and lubricant. We are going to make lube from this. Let's do this first of all to get some idea. Okay, this reckons it needs 9 chemical plants, which is looking ominous. 41,000 heavy oil. Let's say we do it that way. Right, these are going to be filled with production modules, and we can fit 16 speed modules around them, I think. Good grief, 31 of the things. Right, so that's going to produce 200 and something of petroleum gas as a side effect. This requires red circuits, which require plastic, which requires 300 and something. So that's not too bad, because we'll need to get rid of the light oil as well. Yeah, and the light oil can be got rid of by cracking And I'm looking, I don't know what we do here to crack this. There we go. So that's another 100. 200 and something from there, another 100 from there. This does actually work out. I think these ratios work. I am a bit worried by the 31 refineries, but let's double check. Yep, that seems to be what it's saying. So I think I may start off with the refinery build for this, since it's producing 2 products, and we need to get the volumes of both products correct. Now, let's get some beacons in these machines as well to get a feel for how many we're looking at. Okay, so this is going to have prop mods. In fact, let's put all the prop mods in first because that affects the ratios. Okay. Can't put prop mods in those, unfortunately. Can put them in that. Okay. Okay, so this is again looking like this is approximately in ratio. We'll be able to probably finagle this by adding in or removing extra prod mods here and there. Okay, now how 54 engine machines, that's ridiculous. Yep. This. $38 of those. Right, can't do anything about the productivity in those machines. We can potentially put speed beacons in them. Okay, so we're down to 35. So that's sort of 3 rows of 15. Okay, this is ridiculous. Okay, so 160 red circuit machines. $20 plastic machines. Our last quarter build had 2. So a quarter build here would have 5, and the refinery would be correspondingly larger. Okay, and then cracking. Okay. So that's 9 cracking machines. Okay, so again, the quantities here roughly work out. So 161 refinery to produce, so 161 petroleum directly from the refineries. We need 196, 70, 80, 90, so that's 30-ish. Okay. And for the plastic, yeah, then we get 30-ish extra out from cracking the light oil. So I think we're good. I think this is going to work out. Now, the slight problem is we have a couple of odd numbers. So we have 369 of these machines. 20 of those, but that could turn into 21. 160, again, that could... what's 160 divided by 3? It doesn't quite go, does it? It goes into 4, but not into 3. 35 clearly goes into 3, because that's 15. 23 is close to 24, which is 8, 16, 24. 2 there. 38 goes into 39 cleanly, which is 11. 54, 3 into 54. 3 into 30 is 10. 3 into 14 doesn't go, it goes into 15. So that would be 15 machines in, sorry, 25 engine machines in a third build. 105 divided by 3. I can't do that in my head. Okay. Let's find the right console. No, the console doesn't want to open. All right. Oh, it does actually divide by 3, because 99 is divisible by 3. 33 of those. And then 99 to 05 is 6. So that's 2 3s. So it's 35 3s. Okay, we're going to do third builds, I think. And just to completely blow our minds, let's look at what the combined smelting requirements are. Okay. We're going to redo this as separate builds, but yeah, at least for now, we are going to do the combined build. Okay. So most of the iron plates are going into steel. So I see dedicated steel builds. Right, then we have a plates requirement from the green. No, let's get rid of this. That's already done. Right, there's no other requirement for copper plate. Right, so then stone bricks. Iron, copper. Great. Okay, so we can start prop modding these out as well. So these furnaces, what have I done there? Sorry. All right. So, where were we? These are the steel furnaces. Wow, 600 and something, 680. So a third build for that is pretty big. So we're probably looking at 2 steel builds, which is fine because we're going to have a steel build for the electric furnaces and a separate steel build for the engines, I think. Okay, then we will prop mod this clearly. Yep. 12 beacons, so just 2 gear machines. Okay. Then here, productivity, 4 of those. Okay. You can't prop mod pipes. Circuits. Let's assume that we're doing a 12 beacon build, although we may not be. Let's have a look. 23 machines in total. So that's 8 per build. We probably are going to need to do an 11 or a 10 beacon build for that. Okay. Right. Then stone smelting. Right, 130. The total iron smelting is 670. And the total copper smelting is 152. Right, so these numbers are intimidating, but I think if we make 3 1/3 builds, we should be okay. So that's what we're going to do next time. We're going to run through what the parts list would be for 3 1/3 builds. What I'm thinking, if we lay it out in schematic, is that we will have a refinery. This will have a chemical plant making lube and a chemical plant that's doing cracking. Okay, these will then feed into where are they? Where's the assembly machines? Have I lost them all? No, they're there. Okay, so this will then be an electric engine build, a red circuit build. Then this will go into production science. So that's the schematic of what we're going to build, I think. Yeah, what can go wrong? Okay, so I'm going to leave this here. We're going to save this out as production science, and we are going to resume next time. And in the meantime, I will go to a whiteboard and divide all those numbers through by 3 to give us the actual numbers we need for the various builds. Until then, thanks very much for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you again soon for more 10K Creative Mode madness. Bye-bye.